Boom! You know, bro, got vibrant, bad like way power and rory. But here what? At the time for the lion, them tell them story. Lion voice. A bro, got vibrant. I said, don't listen to it once, don't listen to it twice. Subscribe, like, and share. You hear? Boom! Cause just because I hear them. Cause them a fast and pray just to see we fail. Lion voice. Boom, got vibrant. Rep.
Because one of the biggest problems we have in the genre is litigation on hit songs. So, and problems in terms of ownership. So we want to make sure that we normalize something called the split sheet. What is a split sheet? The split sheet is usually a one-page document that all of the songwriters sign to show, how much of the song that they own. Um,
Well, lion voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion voice, got to show the people them the life. Lion voice.
Greetings in that divine name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I. Glory and honor in the name of his chosen queen, Empress Waziri Menen. My name is Kwasi Bansu, aka Dejazmatch Kwasi, aka Ras Kwasi, aka the Reading Ras, aka the Panafrican Happy Man. I'm an entertainment attorney, I'm an author, I'm an artist, I'm an actionist, and right now I'm the host of the Lion Voice. And of course, when you see I'm on just like this, you know it's time for Lion Law. Give thanks for everyone who supported the Lion Law. It was at one time the lowest performing show on the network. We are now in the time where the Lion Law them start pick up. So we want to just give thanks for everyone who has been watching the Lion Law, and hopefully you find them useful for yourself, because all of us have a creative side and we want to make sure that we are knowledgeable and we are protecting our creative side. Also remember, if you subscribe, you're part of the Lion Pride. So big up all the Lion Pride, big up all the Lion Pride on Patreon. So today I wanted to just take it forward to the basics. The last one we talked about sound systems and dub plates, and again my niche is the reggae and dancehall. That's where I really am very passionate about as an artist that performs this genre of music, as someone who was born in Jamaica, as someone who grew up in Toronto, immersed in Jamaican culture, as someone who live in Washington DC, still very in tune with what's happening in Jamaica. Business owner that does business in the Jamaican music industry, music business executive. I have a special desire to see reggae and dancehall, the Jamaican music industry, elevate to its highest level. And to do that, we know that attorneys and law and all of these things are going to be a part of it, because it's the music business, and where there's business, there is law, because law is for the settlement of disputes. And that is what we want to talk about today. Who owns the song? When we're making these songs, how do we show ownership in a clear way, in a way that we can ingrain into the culture? Because one of the biggest problems we have in the genre is litigation on hit songs. So, and problems in terms of ownership. So we want to make sure that we normalize something called the split sheet. And for those who are professionals in the music industry, this is the gospel when it comes down to music industry business. So what is a split sheet? The split sheet is usually a one-page document that all of the songwriters sign to show, how much of the song that they own. What's typical in some genres is a 50-50 split. The person who makes the beat or the rhythm will get 50%. The person who voices the lyrics will get 50%. Now, this can get complicated as we go into the industry, as we go into industry norms, as we go into multiple artists and collabs on the voicing, as we go into samples and things happening on the production side of the rhythm. So it's not always so straightforward, but the basic principle that we want to ingrain in our industry is that you go to the studio, you all of vibes, you might have some herbs and things flowing, everybody a vibration. Let the song happen. We're not saying pull out paperwork, because as a creative, I know that the energy when you're making music is critical, and some songs are not going to manifest in that atmosphere of that kind of strict business beforehand. Although if you can agree beforehand, even before you reach the studio, that is the ideal, but you don't know what you're going to create. So let's be realistic. You're in the studio, vibes in, manifestation comes up. What we're asking is that either from the producer side, and when I say producer, we're distinguishing from producer who does not create the rhythm, because you have producers that don't create the rhythm, who are not the songwriters of the composition. They're just putting all of the pieces together. That's still a producer. But then you have producer in our genre, in reggae dance, and most of the time when someone say producer, they're also talking about the person who created the actual rhythm or the beat, if it was in hip hop. So if you're that person, you're considered a songwriter, and you are entitled to the ownership of some of that composition copyright for that song. Same way, if you're giving the lyrics, you're writing the lyrics, you're considered a songwriter, and you're entitled to the composition. And the split sheet is going to say, how much percentage goes to the songwriter, how much percentage goes to the publishers, and how much percentage goes to any other parties. So all of that would be there. Both parties sign the form. Usually it has a section that will say if there's any samples, who's responsible, or whose share that will be deducted, because this is the truth. If there's a sample, the copyright owner of that sample will get a chance to say, for use of the sample, they're usually going to want a piece of the publishing. So they'll ask for 20, 30, 40. If it's a big hit song, they might say, I want 100% of the song. This is a hit already. Once you put it out, it's going to hit again. And some people do that. Why would you ask? Because sometimes the exposure, the money that you're going to make performing that song, is worth giving up all of the publishing on the front end. But in any event, the split sheet is going to let you know, okay, if the producer is producing that sample has to be cleared out of his 50% of the song. If it can't be cleared from his percentage, then maybe the sample has to be taken out, or another sample that is found. This happens all the time. A lot of songs never make it to see the light of day because of sample clearance. And it's very important, again, to know these things so that before the song starts making money, you have all of these things in place. So if it's not signed at the studio, it should, if you have a manager or you're not managed, email the next day, give thanks for, it was a nice session in the studio, and send the split sheet. This is what splits, let's get this signed and get back before you go into the mixing and mastering and finalization to put out the song. And a lot of the digital distributors are going to require you to have a split sheet before they accept the song, and certain paperwork in place. So split sheet is the bedrock of music publishing, and it really is critical, again, for us to normalize this. And you should have a file. Every song that you have in your catalog, ideally you should have a file for each song that contains split sheets with you and the producer, and the other vocalists. That's how you know that you are now serious and you're engaged in the music business. So I'm not gonna go on for too long, because again we want to keep the Lion Law short and sweet. Are there any questions that you have? Feel free to drop them in the comment. But this one is about the split sheet. Who owns the song? It has to be stated in writing. And if you want to license a song, you want to make money, you want to monetize, then the key is to make sure that you have your split sheet. And it's my pleasure to bring this basic information, because we're going to take it from the basics, we're going to build in, and these things live on YouTube forever. So some people are maybe advanced, but some people are just looking at the business side and coming into the business. So we want to leave these for them, and feel free to book a consultation with any entertainment attorney, so you can have your own templates, you can create your own documents, so you can move around the landscape, looking professional, carrying yourself, if this is really what you want to do, or you're just setting up music as another viable stream of income. Either way, you want to make sure that the business is solid. So it's a pleasure to bring you this information, because as you know, the time has come for the Lions to tell our own story, and this is the Lion Voice.
Lion Voice. Yeah. Well, Haile Selassie the first is the Almighty, and this is the Dejazmatch Kwasi. Well, let's face it, the situation on earth shows us that we have to return to the basics. The relationship between the man and the woman, tell me what else going to replace it? Well, enough of them get a chance at true love and waste it. If there's a chance for love, then let us make it. Well, then I've been waiting for the right time. That's why I'm always on the grind. I've been thinking about you at night time. Black woman, you're always on my mind. I pray the Almighty make my light shine, so maybe one day you'll be mine. And together when our energies combine, we'll create life, we're so divine. Yo, I know life is never hopeless. I know that she know that he know. She noticed that he focus on how to be her man. See her in the dance, realize he need a plan. Eye contact, she look at him, he look back. He bust a two-step to show him soul intact. He start sweat, he dancing as he approach. She smile when she see him start dance close. She turn her back, then she wind down low. He follow like a whining pro. Her body show how she want things. We got them both smile when she start whine slow. Hey yo, then I've been waiting for the right time. That's why I'm always on the grind. I've been thinking about you at night time. Black woman, you're always on my mind. I pray the Almighty make my light shine, so maybe one day you'll be mine. And together when our energies combine, we'll create life, we're so divine. Yo, check out the situation. We was together since before the plantation. Complication, they put us on some ships. Used to hold her close, almost lost my grip. Got caught in a holocaust, tried to resist. I had to endure the dogs and the chains and the whips. And now they study your hips, they copy your lips, and then they try kill your sons. They don't want us to exist, they don't want us to be rich, much less to own wealth. They dug a ditch, Babylon, they made us kill ourselves. It's time to build ourselves, cause the way they live now is pathetic, and our destiny is prophetic. Rastafari said it, the word made flesh. Africa await our prince and princess. Have to tell you straight to me, I show interest when me see how you are gonna whining at your long dress. And me hear you DNA, them say it that the strongest. And them call your mother earth, cause you they are the longest. Now you in a Babylon, them treat you like a conquest. I take you to the motherland and treat you like a empress, yes. Then I've been waiting for the right time.